Hello again, it's Dan from There's a Biker in Your Kitchen. We had a little bit of a dilemma in the house this week. We lost our Bun coffee maker. We didn't lose it, we know where it's at, it just stopped working. So we had to replace it. And Tina and I are both big coffee drinkers and we like good coffee. Our Bun was a good machine, but really it was just a fast machine. It always held a reservoir of hot water and you could make another pot, very, very quickly. So that was a good machine for us, but it didn't really make high quality coffee. So I got on the internet and decided, which one we're going to buy, and started doing the market research. And basically, everything I learned on YouTube and places like that was all automatic coffee makers suck. That's kind of what all the experts and coffee aficionados all think. So I was kind of disappointed. I'm not going to buy a big espresso machine or open a Starbucks, so I still just need an automatic coffee machine. So I really did some more research, and since there wasn't any good information out there, I thought I would just stick this out there for you. What I did buy is a Cuisinart, and it actually is the model somewhere. DGB-650. It was $129 at Bed Bath & Beyond, believe it or not. That's where I ended up buying it. And let me switch camera angles here. There's the unit right there. And for $129, you get a built-in grinder on top, so it actually takes whole beans and grinds it. And it uses a thermal carafe instead of a glass carafe, and there's no heating pad under that, so the coffee goes in and stays hot just by nature of the thermal value of the carafe, which works really well because I had this thing go off this morning at 6 a.m. when we got up, and it's now 12:54, and I just had the last cup out of this. I'm about to make another pot, but at with 6 hours, the coffee was still not as hot as it was at 6 a.m., but very, very drinkable still. The other good thing is this makes very hot water. So the aficionados also say that to make proper coffee, your water must always be in a tight range of 195 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. So this one, I have not actually put a thermocouple on it yet, which I will do, but seems like it does exactly that. The coffee is nice and full flavored and bold and all the good things that coffee people say that it should have. Simple machine to operate. There's an on-off switch, which if you're just going to make a pot of coffee right now, that'll be the button you use. Or there's a program switch that if you want to program it, for like we did this morning to go off at 6 a.m. You put the beans in, you put the water in, you push the button, the green light goes on, as you can maybe see there, green light. And that means it's programmed to go off at 6 a.m. Take it back off for right now. It does grind beans, but you also can turn the grind off on the machine, and that will let you use just normal pre-ground coffee. If you don't have any beans left, you can just put them right into the basket. Works really, really well. All right, some more features here. The unit has 1 to 4 cup range, which will actually change the brew for a smaller amount of coffee if you're not making a full pot. The button here on the front opens the safety latch, which does 2 different things. It'll keep the grinder from running when the lid is open, and this is where you access your grinder to put your beans in, which is here, and your water reservoir here. Your water reservoir also has a filter in it. That's actually a charcoal filter that filters the water going into your coffee, and that just sticks down in there. That's your water reservoir. And then on the front here, there's a button on the side. Push that. That opens your basket, and your bean grinder will actually dispense right down into the hole here into your basket. Take that off. You see the basket. The basket's got a little handle, I made some coffee in it, so it's not 100% clean. I just washed it. So you can either use the gold basket, or you could actually just put a direct coffee filter, regular coffee filter in there. Or so I guess some people do both. I prefer just to use the filter. I think it gives you or the basket, it gives you the best flavor. The lid just goes back on. And this closes. The carafe is kind of neat. It has a bubble on the top here that when you're pouring it allows air in so that obviously it'll pour. And when it's sitting idle like this, it has a ball that stops it to keep the air out of the carafe so that the flavor remains. So we're going to make some coffee here real quick. I've already got cold water in the carafe, and I will just pour it into the reservoir. Pretty exciting watching water pour. Hope none of you have to go to the restroom. Alright, then there's a sight glass on the side here that shows the level. That's at 10 cups. Put that back in. Then I've got my beans here in our trusty crock sealer. Keeps the air out. Coming up here, we'll remove the lid off the grinder. That just comes off. Set it aside. There's a basket there. It's recommended one of these scoopers per cup of coffee that you're going to make, which from experience already, I know that if I'm going to make a full pot, I just fill it up to the fill line here. So I'm not going to count these. You can count them if you want. I'm just going to fill it up. And we're going to call that close enough. We are going to put the plastic lid back on. It just fits down over the top. Press it down, close the lid. It won't function until you close the lid. And then presto changeo, all we're going to do is press the on-off button. Grinding start. It's not ungodly loud. I mean, I did hear it this morning at 6 a.m. when it went off. Pretty high speed, pretty good job of grinding. And it's being dispensed down in. And in about 8 minutes, it will be a full pot, 10 cups of very good coffee. And that is Cuisinart DGB-650, new in my kitchen. And this is Dan from There's a Biker in Your Kitchen.